also handled, I think, retail operations of over 100 stores.
Yes, when I left, we had 116 stores.
And at that
And
time, you were handling the operations?
that's right. When I joined Fab India, I think there were 16 stores. And by the time I left, and now, of course, there are many hundreds.
Wow.
But yeah, so we ramped it up to about 100 within 4 or 5 years. Yeah, pretty rapidly. Our rate of growth was very, very rapid. And then
Okay.
when I was the CFO, I was in charge of the bringing investment, private equity investment into the company, investing in foreign companies. Um, East, we brought in East. The acquisition of East happened when I was there. What worked, I think, for Fab India was that the growth was very organic. There was, at least in the initial years, there was, of course, the profitability was given. Whenever we opened stores, the business model, I mean, every store, had to become profitable in X amount of time. We did deep analysis of the market, the customers, we were very, very careful in our expansion plans. So there was no blind expansion for the sake of expansion. And that helped us. And we ensured that it wasn't that we would let a store bleed for a year, 2 years. So that wasn't happening at all. So it was a very calculated, thought through expansion plan that we had. And the expansion had to give results. It wasn't, I wasn't doing it to show it investors. It was, it had to prove itself right there and then within the time period. So that helped us. Also, I think, depends on the kind of product. What my learning from my years in Fab India is that craft, genuine, pure craft, there is a finite amount of expansion that you can do on that. Because it doesn't lend itself to huge, untrammeled kind of expansion. So till the time that we were about 100 stores, or 150 stores, I think that getting pure craft product was possible. Beyond that, I think Fab India had to liquidate its USP of being a pure handcrafted product, whether it was the embroideries, whether it was the weaves. There's only so much handloom that you can get. There's only so much hand embroidery that you can get done. There's only so much that can happen. So I think that as an entrepreneur, if your story, if you want to remain true to the ethos that you began with, then you also have to be careful and you have to be aware of the kind of expansion that is possible within that. And then, of course, you can change the ethos of the company then, and if you want to grow beyond that. That was one learning, because I don't think that handloom and handicraft can grow beyond a certain level, if you are. So that was basically along the same thing of profitability, making sure that our bottom line was healthy. One of the things was, of course, inventory management. The faster you turn your inventory, the more money you make. So the whole game of retail is quick rotation of your stock. Like Zara, initially when Zara launched, they had a 15-day cycle. They would bring in goods and that's remarkable. So in Fab India, because it's a craft-based product, there's a lead time to, during that time, I don't know what it is now, a 3-month inventory. If you could rotate your inventory every 3 months, that was, to my mind, wonderful. And we achieved that. So of course, inventory. There we built our back end. For our supply chain, the production hubs. We started doing our production hubs in the areas of production. So whether it was a Jaipur, whether it was a Jodhpur, whether it was a Beacon, whether it was in Ahmedabad, whether it was Calcutta, in Andhra Pradesh and Hyderabad. So we took ourselves there. We built our production hubs there to procure and to ship. So we created a whole hub and spoke kind of system to ensure that procurement was swift and shipment was swift. And these hubs became the design hubs. They would design, they would produce. So they became pretty much. They became like the supplier to the retail stores. So they would come and present their ranges. The production hubs would come and then to the marketing team present their range, and then they would choose and the selection would happen.